Welcome to Live and Love Life with Alena Chapman, a show that explores and shares with you how individuals who were once facing unsurmountable obstacles and setbacks have overcome them by using a certain set of tools, techniques, and attitude to help them transform their lives from ordinary into extraordinary. These same tools are shared with you here in this show so you too can lead a life that you love. And now, here's our host, Alena Chapman.
Hello, everyone. I have a spectacular guest for you. Her name is Sinlou Ingrafia. She is a psychic medium who I met her when I was doing a book signing, and I was so taken with her personality, her real love for life and for people, and her caring nature. And I thought, and she's done so much with her life that I thought I have got to get her on this show. And it's been, we've been going back and forth, but we definitely now are here. And I'm so excited to tell you, to have her talk to you and give her some of the insights. It's going to be a very fascinating, interesting show. So with that, Sinlou, hello.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good, actually, today. Very good.
Oh, yay. That's good. That's very, very good.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Oh, I'm excited to have you on the show. I really am. Like I said, I was very taken when I met you. I thought you were just such a very cool person with such a unique, wonderful perspective on life that I thought, yeah, I've got to get her on the show. So, yeah, that's nice. All right. Well, the first thing, why don't you tell everybody what you do? I want to make sure they hear it from you.
Okay. Well, it's I have always been I'm a psychic medium, and I'm also ordained minister, and I'm also a Reiki master, and I do shamanic. What I do is a combination of more shamanic and Reiki together. It happens automatic. It's not something I always plan, but it seems that way.
Yeah, well, that's life.
So when I do healings of such, and I find myself also, I do a lot of house calls because some people like, to meet me in person. And I'll do events, and sometimes I do house calls for more of help with Earthbound spirits.
Okay. So if somebody's having a haunting or is being bothered in their house, you'll come and clear it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's interesting work. That's very interesting work.
Yeah. And I will just go in and clear it out and see what's going on and get the messages needed and clear them out.
Oh, no. Well, just for fun, can you tell us a little bit about one?
An incident? Or?
Yeah. If you feel comfortable. You don't have to, and I don't know what the privacy thing is, but if you can't tell us.
I can't go into, who and all that. But
right.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me pick one. Okay. I had one client, I went to their home, and I found I was actually there to do a reading. And I brought my recorders and all that, And when I walked in, I could feel every room, everything. The energies were pretty heavy. And then I started seeing spirits.
Wow.
All around, popping in and out. And so some of them were the loved ones, and I was able to get their voice recorded as well.
Oh, cool.
For the person, so that they had total confirmation.
Right.
And the rest of them were from the land itself. They were just coming in and coming out, and I was able to release the home of that energy. Yeah, because she was having some issues and being pushed in the middle of the night in the hallway, physically.
Wow.
She was getting a little worried,
Sure she was. It's physical contact. Sure.
Yeah. So it ended up not, major entities or anything of such. They were just earthbound spirits, and I was able to get those through.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. How interesting and fun. That's very interesting work. So, all right. I guess, how did you get into this line of work?
Well, a long story, but I'll make it kind of sweet and short.
Okay.
As a small child, I always knew. I remember from the age of 3 that I was different from most people around me, and I would see, hear things that most people cannot. And so I had a lot of experiences going on in my life. I'm telling you, I need to. If I could just sit down and get it all together, I could write about it.
Yeah.
But really, what got me going, that brought me into the flow of things, because of all my experiences that were shown to me and the journeys that I went on. I had a traumatic passing. Dramatic.
Passing, you mean
1988.
you died?
Yes.
Ah.
Yeah. And but it taught me a lot. When I did come back, it was kind of confusing. It was like, okay, let me put this all together. But I found myself much more grateful in life.
How old
And
were you?
I was 25.
Oh, wow.
I think it was, I can't remember, 1988. Let's see, I'm trying to figure out my age. I was
Well,
like
yeah.
25 or 20 in that area.
Okay. Wow, you were just starting to find yourself. Yeah. And then
Yeah.
you passed away and then you came back. That must have, you were still young enough, that you were it just changed your perception, I bet,
Yeah.
about life.
A lot of things. Things that I already had experienced made more sense to me. And I was,
Yeah.
of course, more grateful, and I learned to let go of what doesn't serve me.
Ah.
And I also learned the biggest is not to, don't worry about trying to fix everybody, fix yourself. Look at yourself and yourself.
That's exactly what I teach.
That's what divine. I heard that as clear as day.
Really? It is divine. Isn't that something? You fix
Yeah.
yourself, and that's what changes the perception. That's what changes everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
My
And that is what
gosh.
I brought back from the divine world. Yeah. And this is, that's something that I encourage everyone to walk within and really reach within, because that's the key. There's where it all lies.
It is. It is. Yeah, it is. It's right inside of you. That's what I tell people. The answers are right inside you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, especially friends, it's hard to read for friends.
Yeah. I bet it is.
It's different than reading for someone you don't know, you just meet, because your friends are like, oh, they know you, so, but I always try to put questions in front of them. I do my reading a little bit different so that they look within.
That's
and
cool.
Go, moment.
Aha moments. Those are nice moments. Oh, how very.
I figured it out on my own. I'm like, there you go.
Yeah.
There's one.
Oh, that's cute. Well,
so not only, I tell people all the time, it's the differences, and of course I have different gifts that God has given me, but one of them is a psychic medium, and that is something that I have learned to accept. And for many years I didn't, being able to see things, and it's like, because you hear all what you're supposed to do and whatnot, and you're going to go to hell and all this.
Yeah.
So that really weighed on me.
Yeah, it does.
That really did. And I did, ask, this is not what is supposed to be, then take it from me.
Oh.
And I said, be ye gone. If this is not of good, if it's not of divine light, I don't want it.
Wow.
And it just stayed, and it got stronger to the point where, I can be in a store and I can see if there's a loved one next to you standing there.
Well, I bet it did get stronger because you proved,
Mm-hmm.
to the universe that you wanted to be of the light, and it would open. You would open for it if it was, and there it came. It makes total sense.
And what's funny is because I worked for a really big company. I don't want to go in. I don't know if I should name or not, but corporate world for 20-something years.
Wow, that's a long time, yeah.
Then I went back to school and decided to go in for nursing. And, I started at the bottom,
Yeah, I bet you did.
making minimum, you're talking $8 an hour, and I had to move my way in,
Wow.
as I was doing the schooling. So I was more, in the beginning, hands-on with patients.
Right.
And, I prayed about this change of my future for a while about it. It's like, this is the direction, is this what I'm supposed to be doing at this point in time? And I knew that this was a journey that I had to go on to see clearly the truth. And I was on the graveyard shift, and many times I would, with my patients, I would sit with them and, take care of them, sing to them, whatever was necessary to bring them joy. I would bring them in music of their time, let them listen to their music, baby them, pamper them.
Sure.
And when they would pass, I made sure that I was there.
Oh, Sinlou. Wow.
They gave me the opportunity, to share. And many of them, of course, we have them on some heavy duty, morphine, some of them, depending on the situation.
Yeah.
But, many times, you would hear people scratch it off. It's just the drugs. No, it's not. Because when those people would walk through the walls, I could see them with them.
Wow.
And I could see the angels, and I could see the people, the loved ones, gathering and making sure that the person laying there was comfortable and not afraid.
Isn't that super?
Yeah.
That's exactly how I know it is too. Yeah.
Yes, it's definitely. And I've come up with people, total atheist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I had the experience of being there with that person, non-belief of anything, and I asked him if it was okay if I give him, a prayer, just a little prayer, and it kind of changed the whole perspective of things for that person.
Yeah.
And when they were their last breath, I saw their loved ones coming through.
Oh.
And changed, I could feel, the big smile coming over them, like,
well,
oh my,
sure. It's not just black space. I mean, it's a much better alternative, I think. Wow.
And it just amazes me. I tell people all the time, because they'll ask me all different questions, because I'm a misfit. I don't fit into the, the main churches. I don't fit into anybody's groups, actually. I'm just a misfit.
You're not a misfit. You are paving the way. Much better term. I think it's phenomenal, the people you help. I mean, to help them understand, and that it's okay. And and that this other side is all okay. It really is.
Yeah, it is. It's I know of 3 dimensions.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Now this fascinates me because I've heard a lot about people who are able to jump or parallel different dimensions. In fact, I forget, Mind Valley even has a person that, what is his name? But he became, his art is in a museum, and he tells people it's because I parallel jumped to another time and asked them to help me, and they taught me this new panorama way of taking pictures, and those are all his pictures that now are in the museum. All his talents, he says, is because he jumps.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, you need to explain this to me. I want to know.
Well, it's kind of hard to. My first experience when I was 3, and it was just stuck with me. It's one of those. It's like one of those. Like when you have a dream, it just sticks with you all your life.
Uh-huh.
And this is, of course, these experiences. But it was the strangest thing is because I was sleeping. And I must have slept in because, well, before I woke up, I found myself going down a black hole.
Ooh.
Really, really fast. And when I opened my eyes, I came through the black hole. And at that point in time, when I opened my eyes, the sounds were crystal clear. I can hear the crickets rubbing their feet together and the grasshoppers.
Oh, cool.
And I can hear, at that time, my brothers and sisters, they were outside, and I could hear their laughter and all. So I went to the window to see what is, why is this so clear? And when I looked outside, I was here, but I wasn't here. And that's the only way I can explain it to you. It was brilliant looking. The colors, the trees, everything was vibration. The energies were strong. And you felt connected to everything.
Wow.
You were no longer, this is me and this is all this.
You're all one.
It was just one connection. And it lasted. I got dressed, went downstairs, went down the driveway. As I was almost ending the driveway, it went back to normal. I was like, here I am again.
And you wonder which is really normal.
Yeah. So then, that was my first experience, and it was just like, whoa, what was that?
Sure.
And as years went by, I would have more experiences. And then I found myself walking, but I could not feel my feet on the pavement. And I looked down, and sure enough, I was walking, but I was walking in air. And at that point, there was someone standing beside me, and I could only see the feet and the hands. And they were talking to me.
They were in another dimension.
Yeah. And I was asking him questions. And I say him because the voice was authority. It had a big, the sound was like funny. It was that authority. And I was asking him at my young age, the things that I was reading and the things that I was learning, because I was always like that. I was the skeptic. I had to know and prove it.
Right. Sure you did.
And I was asking questions, and he was telling me a little bit about it, and he was giving me dates. So
interesting.
It was funny is because today I'm watching everything that he's told me.
That's amazing. So it was someone from the future. A future
Yeah.
parallel.
From 2000, and it's still going. I see everything that's been going on everywhere
Interesting.
that I've already. This is, I could say this is gonna, this is gonna, this is gonna, because I've already seen it happen. I call them reruns.
Well, they kind of are for you.
But there was many times that I would go through these, and the only way I can explain it to you is like right in front of your face, but you can't see it. I have seen the one world many times where you're one with everything, and your energies, everyone is just. I can't explain it to you, and it's wonderful. I would
bet
call
it
it
is.
heaven.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I have seen this world. This world here that we're in is the parallel world. You got energies of darkness and light. And then there's another world that I saw that's more, how do I say it? It's here, but it's not here exactly the same.
Okay.
But
yeah.
they're kind of like in between worlds.
Oh, wow.
Their dimension and our dimension, they're in between. They can come back and forth. And that's what I call the Earthbound.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I call Earthbound, because some of them, they're not in the physical sense here, but their spirit is here.
They're here. Yeah. And some of them are still living the life they were living. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
That must be an interesting world. Yeah.
It was interesting because I had an encounter with an Earthbound spirit once.
While
and
you
I
were
actually started talking, asking questions, because I figured he wouldn't leave me alone anyway.
right.
Why not ask questions?
Sure. Why not? I can see that. Yeah.
I'm sure the neighbors thought it was pretty funny, though, standing out there by the lake and my hand gestures, you know how that goes.
Oh, how funny.
And I'm talking away.
Yeah.
But it seems that they're living in the world they see differently, yet sometimes they get images of what it is now.
Isn't that amazing?
Because one of the spirits, he actually developed and designed and made our lake. He told me all about it. He told me everything about it. So I asked all the neighbors, and they said, yeah. I was like,
that's
okay.
cool. That's really cool.
But then they'll go into details of what they're doing, their journeys.
Oh, wow. The stories
so they are
learn.
living. They're going through their journeys.
Yeah.
And a lot of people ask me about, like the resurrection.
Yes.
How I feel about, how, what we're told and all that. It seems that there's more than one resurrection.
Really?
Yeah. Because when they're going into an earthbound spirit, when I'm working with one to going into the light, they're being resurrected. And that's only by their design and divine.
Yeah, their want. Yes.
Have nothing to do with me, but,
Right.
that is, for me, that shows that there is, which kind of makes sense because Yeshua showed that you can be resurrected.
Sure. Oh, I believe that. Well, with all this that you have through your life, I mean, what have you used? Because I'm sure you did have a lot of ridicule. You've had, I mean, I might be wrong, but I would think you have, and
always,
and people who just are scared of you, basically. There's so many people who are scared, and because of the beliefs. It could be beliefs. It could be ignorance. It could be just choosing not to accept it. It could be of many reasons, but with that, they can react. And so you've had, and also coming to terms with your own ability, that sometimes I'm sure it's scary. What do you rely on in yourself to continue the journey?
Divine. Because I get that all the time. I get so many, and as skeptics, I enjoy. I do. If I'm going into an event and I have someone that doesn't, they'll tell me straight up that they think I'm full of crap. And it's like, cool. I can handle a skeptic.
Yeah.
I have my logic side. You know what I'm saying? I have that.
Right.
So, I understand it. And that to me is my favorite because they get the best healings.
Really?
Yeah. The outcome of it is, I love,
Right.
opening their eyes.
Yeah. Giving them new awareness. Yeah. They just kind of say, wow. It plants the seed that, wow, maybe she's not as nutty as I thought.
Exactly. And, there's some that you just got to, how Yeshua would say, walk away, clean off your sandals and just keep walking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Because nothing you can do or say or anything, would matter. So, you have to just deal with that. I've learned, and that little voice keeps coming to me and telling me it's okay, you're mine.
Oh.
So,
That's nice.
And I remember that because, one of my journeys that I had gone on, it wasn't a very nice journey. And more of a negative force. And
okay.
I learned a lot in that journey. But coming out of it, the voice of divine said to me, they can't kill you. They can only hurt you. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're mine. So no matter what I do or have to do, it doesn't matter if anyone really approves. It's something that I have to say or do, or if it's something that I need to go to that person, he's going to bring that person to me, and they're going to be healed.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
It's kind of like, you have to go within. You got to do what you need to do, what your purpose is, right?
That's exactly right. You have to do what your purpose is. Do you feel like a messenger, sort of?
Sometimes, I don't believe in anything just happening for no reason.
Yeah, neither do I. No.
And I've had a situation where I have met a spirit that unfortunately had chose to kill himself.
Oh.
And I went through the journey with him, and he finally was able to get out of that, and move on. And because of the guilt and everything, the teachings and all that, he was afraid.
Right.
And going through all that and helping him, it wasn't a one-time overnight thing. I worked with him. And lo and behold, spirit has a way, I'm telling you. It was about a year later. Lo and behold, on Facebook, someone wanted to friend me, and I friended this person, didn't know who they were, didn't know the connection. And he was depressed, and he was grieving because his son died. It turned out that was his son.
Oh, wow.
You see? So it kind of like divine says, okay, now come over here because, he needs healing from this.
Yeah. Oh, wow, that's something. That's really something.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure you helped him tremendously to understand.
Oh, yeah. He's fine.
Oh, that's fantastic.
He's doing wonderful today. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See, all the good you do.
He has a whole new perspective.
Yeah, a whole new perspective. And yeah, it's a good thing. But I mean,
got wonderful messages from his son. So it was really, really.
Oh, very cool. Yeah, see the things you do for people. I mean, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
But that is why I do it. I feel that it's a necessary, and it's a blessing.
Yeah.
That I'm used as the messenger, but I have nothing to do with it. I tell people all the time, they look at me and laugh. It's like sometimes when I'm doing readings, I have no clue.
Right. Right.
I don't know nothing.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, sure.
It's like because some
Sure.
things come out and it's like, I have no idea why I'm saying this, but I'm going to tell you this,
Isn't that
because
something?
it's just, I don't know. I'm just listening and I'm going to tell you
What you
what
hear.
I'm hearing.
Oh, I think it's phenomenal. Well, that's very cool. I mean, it is, and the whole thing, and the way you are able to help people understand and ease their pain, and not to mention the people who have passed on but haven't,
Yes. Yes.
gone to the light. The people who are still earthbound, they are, you help them too. You're helping on both sides. What a cool way to live. It really is.
I truly believe that, even when someone passes, we do our prayers for them, for their journey to go easy, and anything, because your mind stays, your thoughts stay. And it's so important. That's why I love reading your book too.
Oh,
And
thank you.
basically because really the mindset has to change,
Yes.
and not let that hold you from
Yes.
living. Because believe me, when the body goes, not the mind, not the spirit.
Not the
You live on
energy.
your eternity.
Yeah, your energy, your soul. You go. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's very, very
So,
true.
I want to see you when you're coming, opening that bright light door and communicating with me. I don't want to have to communicate with you sitting next to me and in between worlds.
Yes. Yeah. Well, don't you think it is fear? I think it is fear why people don't go all the way to the light. With all the dogmas, and
Yes.
even good people are so scared because of dogmas or just something little that gives them the guilt. It's nothing serious sometimes.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Well, it's funny. Yeah, it is.
They wait to go home all that time, and then when they get there, they can't go.
Because they haven't changed their minds.
Yeah, it's minds. Yeah, it is. It's like
It's
that in life
something.
too.
Yeah, it's something that they all miss when they read their good book.
Yeah.
Yeshua told them, you have to change your mind.
You have to change your mind. You do. You do. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying the book. Well, we have.
I'm the biggest skeptic in the world. I was like, I must be like doubting Thomas. That's probably why he put me on these journeys.
I think so. Sure. For you to learn, for your own awareness,
Yeah.
It really is. And actually, when you said that, when you were in the one world where you weren't touching the ground, scientists have even shown that we don't really touch surfaces. We think we do. We don't really walk on the ground. The energy, it's almost, you float kind of above it, sort of. And that's not me talking, that's science. And I think it's energy. We're energy. Everything is energy. Einstein.
We're pure light.
Yeah.
We have the spirit of our creator, pure light.
That's right. We do. Isn't that awesome?
Isn't it?
When
people realize that, it's like, holy crap.
Yes. When you realize that you are capable of anything, you can accomplish anything, especially if it's the betterment of all. If it's for the betterment of all, you really can accomplish anything you put your mind to. It's phenomenal. Yeah. Ah. Well, now if people want to learn more about you, how will they do that?
I have a site, threepsychicsnetwork.com. And
Okay.
you can go in there and read a lot of different wonderful articles from brilliant writers all over. And of course, if they wanted to have a session with me, I have a category in there for readings.
Oh, very cool. And the other thing is, and I didn't ask you, but I know we've been kind of talking about it. But for people who are listening to this thinking, oh my, you know what I mean? Or, okay, this is a little beyond what I'm, able to comprehend right at the moment. I mean, or people who, even more importantly, people who are discovering their own abilities, or what nuggets would you give them to keep going on that journey, or to keep coming to awareness?
As I say, the key is within you. And let spirit within you teach you. And ask, always ask. Because divine will put you on journeys to show you, either through people. We experience this daily in our lives. And we take it for granted. We don't realize. He puts people in front of us to teach us what we need to know. Sometimes it's not a grand thing, But
Sure.
I find that it's important. It's something that, I don't know. You just know. But walking within and listening to your gut, because I believe that we're all psychic. He gave us a gift of intuitive
Yes.
discernment. And if you listen to your gut, and your mind could be hysteric and ask for that to be cleared. And when you listen to the gut, if it's hurting, there's where the truth lies. If your stomach is upset, believe it or not, people miss that gut feeling, that old gut feeling, that's how they used to call it.
Yeah.
They didn't call it psychic.
Yeah, no, they say listen to
Exactly.
your gut. That's true, but it is.
Exactly.
I
You have
always
to
say,
walk within
yeah,
and get connected. And I do prayer and meditation.
very cool. Yeah, you do have to go in within. I teach that too. It's very important. My gut was always very, very tight and not in a good way. And it wasn't until I started realizing that and then listening to my body that it loosened and changed my situation. But then on top of that, now when it tightens, I know that there's something not right. And then I have to go within and find out what's not right with this situation. What am I walking into? What am I doing wrong or not for my best interest? What is it that my body is telling me?
Absolutely.
Very
He
important.
is within.
You got to go within. The answers lie there. It has been such a joy to have you on the show. I mean,
thank you.
Really, really, not
Thank
only
you
so
for having
interesting.
It was wonderful.
Oh, yeah. It was interesting and a lot of new awarenesses for people. Just really wonderful, Sinlou. Thank you.
Thank you.
And everyone. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Many blessings.
Many blessings to you too. And for all the listeners, always blessings for people. If you, all you wonderful listeners, I hope you've enjoyed and kind of found a new awareness. This was a wonderful show for you just to kind of, you may question, it may spur you to look more into everything. But I mean, really, the important things are to trust yourself, to look inside and trust your purpose. Trust your purpose. It is divine. This was a phenomenal show. My gosh, get online. Give me some comments. Give me some questions. I always want to hear from you. You have an awesome, awesome day. And I'll see you next time on The Alena Show. Bye-bye now.
You've been listening to Live and Love Life with Alena Chapman. For more information on the show, its guests, or to contact Alena, please visit alenachapmanlife.com. Have an awesome day, and we remind you to live and love life.